Welcome. We're gonna start doing this weekly lives. I was doing them on Facebook, but I think Facebook is erasing them during the week, so I'm starting here. Today I want us to do a color wheel, and we're gonna learn a little bit about let's do a color wheel. You know what? Let's do a color wheel, and let's try to use all the colors in a color page. Excited. So I'm gonna organize here what I had done. Let's wait a little bit until people start coming in. And how's everyone doing? A new week. I sent the newsletter. If you guys want to get our newsletter, you can sign up. I think we have the links to the website and stuff like that here on YouTube. And so what we're gonna talk, this is the classic color wheel, because I've seen a lot of stuff like new wheels, and this is just the classic one, yellow, blue, red, those type of things. But I also want us to play a little bit with color, and I want us to see how much can we stretch the, I would say that's the value of the color, the intensity of the color. So how much intense and non-intense we can do in a coloring page. Let me turn this around. This is my desk. Here I have the light. And this is the color wheel. So we could do that. We're gonna use, so we're using our printables here. Let me show you a little bit. I'm thinking, so okay, I'm gonna put it back again. I'm trying to figure it out here. So, okay, I have different ideas. I do like to, I'm gonna use a new paper. That's what I'm gonna do. Sorry, the mess of the back. It's our table. Ready? Okay. So I'm gonna use a paper and just do it from the beginning. Here we go. I will use, I recently had an experience with my watercolors. With my watercolors. And I had different brands of watercolors. I had my Winsor Newton, I had the Iwile. I'm not really sure how to write say the name properly. And one of the brands was not sealed properly. I don't know, because I talked with the company and they said it may have been something on that batch, so they got mold, and I threw my whole palette away. So now I'm doing this, and I was thinking this would be a great way to do the color wheel with this palette. This palette has also different ones. So this is the Iwile that I don't know how to pronounce. These are Winsor Newtons, and I have my Paul Rubens here. So let's do it like that. And the idea also would be great. It doesn't have to be like a specific like this. Or my suggestion would say to try to add the colors that you have in your palette, all the colors. It doesn't matter. For example, I have this one's, this is this is orange, this is pink, pink. So I'm gonna try to add them all. So it's not gonna look like this perfect color wheel, but it's gonna be more useful for you because you're gonna have all the colors that you have in your palette. So you can say, instead of having the little swatches around, I want you to have all the colors in your palette. And maybe after we can do something about color relativity, how colors change depending the percentage you have it. So if most of the page is colored in one color, the the little colors around are gonna change depending how they interact with the color. So we'll see that after or next week, next Monday. So I'm gonna grab just one page of watercolor paper. Here we have our printables, and you can follow this. These printables are in our also, like, you can buy the book. We just printed. This is the file you get 2 cards per page, and we just made it into a book, which I feel it's perfect to study color, right? So here I started coloring as I normally do, and this one I colored them all, just doing an experiment. These are the same exact colors, just in different quantities. So this has mostly oranges and a little bit of blue. This one's mostly blues and a little bit of orange, and I was just showing how different it changes the proportion of the colors. The same color combination, different proportions, and I think that's awesome. And I just love color, so I want to start doing all this type of experiments, to say it that way. So a white page, let me turn this around and let's get started. Okay. I don't know if there's someone chatting. I have no idea where to see it. If someone has put a comment, I don't know where to see it. Here? No. Here? Not sure. Oh, here. Mensajes. No. Todo mensaje. Okay. I don't know. But okay. Let's get started. I'm gonna start with a circle. And you know what? I'm gonna do a circle, and I'm not gonna do the lines. I'm just gonna do the circle, so it's gonna be this circle. And a dot in the middle. And I'm looking for something to grab my hair. I don't know. It's fine. And I'm gonna start with yellow here. Here. And I'm gonna start with yellow. This. And then I'm gonna do this one here. I need to know the like how many of each color. So I am gonna start with the primary color, which is yellow, blue, and red. So the color circle, because I've heard a lot of things. The color circle, the one yes, one no, it works, it doesn't work. I'm not that technical into color circles, but I just like to interact with the colors. Like for me, the color circle is more like to see what colors you have. I don't find that useful, those color circles that you buy, because I'm like, well, what's the joke, you know, if you bought it but you don't have the pigments to actually make the color in the color circle you bought, then what are you gonna do with it? So I'm more of a make your own color circle with your colors. That way you can actually see how they interact and stuff. So, and then I'm gonna choose, I don't have a red, so I'm just gonna use this one, which is the color that for me gets closer to red. This is more of a pink red, but it's fine. So that's the idea. The idea is you use the colors you have. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in between. You'll see. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're gonna put orange in between the red and the yellow. I'm gonna use this orange. And it's funny because in between these two colors, I do not have any other colors. I don't have much yellows either. And that's also how you can see a balance in your color palette and the colors you have. I think that's a good way also to see what colors we could use more. That's I probably could use more variation on this side. No, should I? I think I am gonna include the poor Rubens too. Because A, they have more, and then I always use them together. And then here's gonna be a green. And that's funny, my greens are super not balanced. Because I have a very dark green or the neon green. So that's when I'm gonna see. I think the most I have is like pinks. And blues, I think. Especially now that it's a new palette, because I think the other one had a little bit more. I have a few purples. So if you're making your own at home, which it would be great, because then this this one that I'm making really does, it's not useful for you. So you if you're watching this, you're an artist, this would be great for you to do, or you're a colorist. It's great. It's also great to do, let's say if you're gonna start a coloring page, do it with the colors you're thinking of using, and then you can do, it has to be, it could be a small one, it could be a tiny one, and just small with your color pencils you do, okay, yellow, blue, red, and then try to do in between to see what colors you have. Now, what I'm gonna do is let's start with the oranges. So we have this orange, we have this orange, which I think have the impression it's a little bit darker, so I'm gonna put it here. Yeah. Actually, may not. It may have more yellow. And it's fine. Just, it's good just to know. So the yellow, red and blue are called the primary. The purple, orange, and green are called the secondary colors. Color combo. Now I'm gonna do this. Just a little bit. I love how neons don't really fit in. They really don't fit in into this type of stuff. This is, I think, the same neon. It's a different brand company. It's a different company. This is just glittery, but I knew it was the same. And then I'm gonna put these oranges, because these are also oranges. I like to mix them in here in the bottom. You don't have to. This, I think, since it's your color circle, just you decide how you want to make it. You can make it with more water in the center. You can let the colors touch. Don't let the colors touch. Do neon separate if that's what you prefer. But I love the idea of just making your own color circle. I'm gonna actually use a little bit more of this because that's it. This is the orange. And then this one is here. These are very similar, so that's why you didn't see that I didn't really wash them much in between, because they're very similar. It's slightly more yellow. That's the only difference. But what does this tell us? This tells these are the colors. So this is all the kind of hues we have to work with. Then we have blue. Let's say we have darker. We have a darker blue, which probably will go on this side. I have more blues. I also have more purple. So let's do this blue here. And then when you make them, you say, you know what, I just want to fix it this color, then at least you already know all your colors and the proportions. So, which I think is a great idea. I have this blue. I have a darker purple, which I feel would go here. And then I also have another purple. I know that's the purple, yes. Okay, perfect. So then all the space can be with this purple. And just use your eyes to, okay, I feel this purple may have a little bit more of a certain color. The way to see kinda, or I feel one of a good way to see what colors does your pigment have is adding water or white, and then I feel that's a good way to take out the pigments. Oh, we also have these little ones, this tiny sparkle ones. So I think I'm gonna do the sparkles on the outside. Okay, so this blue one is this one. I think I don't have more blues actually. Ah, I have that blue, yeah. Okay, so I have one more blue. So this is one of the blues. And then we have this blue, which I'm not sure which blue is this. I think it's the same blue, or it looks like the same blue. I'm not sure. I think it's the same blue. Funny, because I think they're different brands. So crazy. Okay. So from blue to green, I have this berry blue green. I don't, I touched the wrong one. Okay, this one. Crazy, because this color looks very much like this color, just more pigmented. And okay, I did use that one, this one. What color is this? I'm not sure. Like, let me have, I think I have a little piece of paper here. Oh, perfect. Yeah. To see the pigment, because I have no idea what this color, okay, this color. Perfect. I think that's the color I just put, and the color next to it, oh, okay, it's more green. Good to always have like a paper to just put color randomly. Okay, so that green can be here. Oh, is this one and this one the same color? This one? Remember that I just changed the palette, which means I may have no, you see? So this is awesome and interesting. This one has a little bit more green, and this one is a little bit more blue. So those are the things that are good to see. So the one that's a little bit more blue, we already put it, so I can put this one next to it. Then which one was it now? Oh, okay, this one goes next to this one. Again, so funny. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, this one. Yeah, definitely a little bit more green. And then I had the other one that's fully, that's green. And then here. If you guys have any question, just ask me in the chat. I think when someone writes, then I can figure out how to see it. I think there's nothing, maybe because nobody has written anything. So. Okay, now I'm gonna use this green, and here, perfect. A little bit of difference, but I love it. This is how I love to say, get to know your colors. Like you're starting a project, so get to know who you're gonna work with. It's like that idea. Okay, so we can see all these. Perfect. Blue, green. Let's do the. Oh, gosh. I am a very not perfectionist person, so if my yellow has a little bit of another color, I'm fine with it. As long as like it doesn't, completely different, I'm fine. So. Perfect. I really like how this is coming out. Then we're gonna start adding the other ones. I think I'm gonna add the gold here. Might add the gold. I feel the yellow would have gone the other side, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna. This one would have probably been in the middle. Like, I mean, here would have been neon yellow, and then the gold would have been on the other side. But it's okay, because gold's usually a little bit more orange. And it's really transparent. So this is a gouache. Okay. Now, the pinks. I know I have pinks because I love pinks. So I do usually always have a lot of pinks. We have one purple that is more redder, but I'm gonna not do it too wide because I know we're gonna have a lot in this here. Which I could have, like, now that I know, and if I need to make it again, or if, like, you can say, oh, you know, I just want to make it again, then you would make the yellow smaller, blah, 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 like that. Okay, so I have this pink, which goes towards this color. Just a little bit more purple. This is my favorite pink. Now, let's see. Let's do this to see what we have. I think this is the main one we used, maybe. Tell me, look red. This could be this one. I think I'm gonna just use a little bit more of this pigment to make sure. Have the impression, maybe not, maybe, but let's see, this one, this is also pink, but it's a way more redder, more red pink, you see? So this is pink orange, so this one would go on this side, and then all my other pinks are more red. The neon oranges, we put them on this side. Perfect. Yeah, so this one can go here. Look how orange it is. And it's called, I think, like rose pink, something like that. Very red pink. Not so saturated. Okay. Now I feel for these, I'm just gonna make like tiny lines because I wouldn't know how else to fit them in. The neon one is really the same as this one. No, I still have this pink. Oh my gosh, we're gonna make like a line. Yeah, I love my pinks, as you can see. That's why it's the color I have the most. Which I can see, then I have a big, obviously preference for this color, and like if I want to have, which I think it's fine and perfect for an artist to have like a preference in colors, because then your art has, like, you have like a chosen color palette, I feel. Okay, this I'm gonna just put it here. Okay. So here we have a lot of things. So what can we see from our color palette? There's colors that are a no to mix if I want to make a good contrasting color. So if I make a painting and only use these colors, it's gonna look terrible, kinda. Not terrible, but like value-wise terrible, because these mix very well into each other. So you're not gonna see so much difference. So if you wanna have a great value, then you would mix obviously complementary. That's what they're called, complementaries. But let's say this, but then you would say I can't put this one next to this one. And I think this is the awesome part of a color circle, that the little things are not gonna give you the, you know, swatches are not gonna give you. I'm drinking coffee. So now I can say, okay, I want to make just blues, right? So this one, which I think it's one of these, I wouldn't put it next to this purple or next to this blue. This one's a perfect color to put it next to. So then you can do, I would suggest if you're gonna do swatches, so this is how you can use the, so we say, okay, I'm gonna do a blue one, right? So you take out the color circle of the papers you're gonna use. You say, okay, here you're choosing your color. So I'm like, okay, this will look great. It makes a little bit too much, so, but it's fine. Looks great. And maybe this one, which is this one, yeah, next to each other. But then if you can cut them into papers and mix them, because then you say this one and this one together won't look good. For example, right, let's say we're making a mushroom. Can you guys see? Yeah, okay, so we're making a mushroom, right? And this is when people say I use so many colors and then they don't never look good. You have to make sure they don't blend into each other. So for this mushroom, a lighter background, like let's say the neon yellow would look good, the orange would look great, the pink would look amazing. But if you choose this blue, it's not gonna look so good because it's too similar. It's the same one I'm gonna show you. It's too similar in value. So although the pigment, you can use it with a lighter, and that's something we're gonna also go through. You see? This is how I feel the color circle is better to help us learn about our color combinations than swatches. Because although the hues are different, hue is the color, intensity is how saturated it is, and value is how dark or light. So although the hue, which is the one's blue, one's green blue, are different, they're too similar, I would say, in intensity and in value, pretty much like that. If you use it like that, difference, okay, right? So let's say, oh, well, you can say, well, you're using them with too much paint, maybe a little bit more water, and that is true because that changes the value of the color. It's tricky. The part that's very tricky with colors is a intensity. Sometimes I feel it gets mixed with value. So like there's like a little. So let's say I'm gonna use this one and this one. That we said not a great idea because this doesn't really look so good. But I'm gonna use it with a lot of water. It looks much better. That's another thing you can do. You can also, when you do your color circle, as you go to the middle, add more water. Let's see out here. What I see here, and if you see colors, this would happen the same. We use pinks are my favorite color, right? My favorite color. Let's say, but now I really want to make a mushroom with pink and pink. So you see this, right? My mushroom. And let's say, would I use this one or would I use this one? And then here I can see this one contrasts much better. You see, and if I add a little bit more water too. These watercolors that I am using are translucent, which means it allows the brightness of the page, of this white page, to go through. If I would have done it with this one, it wouldn't have looked good because, let's see, you'll see. Let me show you. This one here, I'm just gonna add it. It would have been very similar, so then the eye can't fully detect it. So that's the idea. That's why I love this. You can see the colors together. We can, like on top of this, you can add the glitters if you want. The glitter ones here, for example. The glitter. These glitters are very, very translucent, so I wouldn't really. These are pretty, almost like glitter by itself, so it's not really so. So these are more like pink, orange, red, a little bit more red. This one's pink, which is very pink. You have the orange here. You have this orange over here. But it's mostly glitter, as you can see. So it really doesn't have. This one's more yellow. But I think it is a good idea, anyways, to have your glitters too. Maybe one surprises us and has more pigment than we thought. Actually, it's funny because the little dots, I didn't love them because I felt they had very little. I have the impression I put them on twice. There's a lot of greens. Green. Green blue is more green blue. It's a little bit tinted because it had a tiny bit of orange there. More green blue. Darker, more bluish here. And you're really, with this, you're really making a map of your colors. What colors do I have? Then sometimes you don't have like surprises. This one, do you see how dark they are? And then we have this one that's red, bit dark. You see, so I like it. I like to know what colors do you have. This one's very red, like pretty much like brown red. This one's pink. We don't have. There's barely oranges. There's mostly green. This one. And the pink. Okay, so this is what we have. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Ah, no. I have these purples. These are the uli. I like to use these on top of the pigments because they're very light. These are much darker. And these are the greens here. These are more candy. I feel these look more like candy. And we have the purple, we already put the purple, and we have blue, which would go around here, more blue. And that's it. So here we made the color, our color wheel with all our pigments. This one just was a little bit too dark. Okay. And then it looks different, right? It doesn't look like a common wheel, but this is a wheel more useful for me since it has exactly the colors I have than this wheel. That it's awesome, you can buy it and stuff, but really if you don't have this exact blue, when you add white it's not gonna look like this, and when you add yellow it's not gonna look, and then you know what I mean. So it's really not a very useful it's a useful in theory type of thing, and it's a good thing, I feel, to make your own. So I love that we did this one. Then next Monday we're gonna talk about color combinations with them, and how much things change depending the amount of the colors that we have, which I think is really interesting. So I love that we did it. Look how cool it came out. And I'll see you. I like it. This was short, concise, to the point, and yeah. Oh, wait. I just saw this yellow. I can, yeah, we did the yellow on the side. Okay, but I think it's good to have it there because that's glitter. Okay. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next Monday.